And yes, we will find out just how many pools of blood the invitation got at the end of this review. But first, I thank you for joining me for this review. And as usual, cast and crew information is down below, along with this very brief IMDb plot. A young woman is courted and swept off her feet, only to realize a gothic conspiracy is afoot. A gothic conspiracy. What could that be? Let's see. So, this is another new one, so we'll try to keep this as spoiler-free as possible. I don't know from the trailer or not if you kind of guessed what was going on here or not. I tried to stay away from that, but I did see a lot of people's anticipation for this movie, and I think when the first reviews hit, I think a lot of people seemed to like it. So for some reason, I try not to get my expectations up, but for some reason, I let my expectations get up a little bit for this one. And I will say, to kind of start off before I even say how many pools of blood it gets, maybe didn't quite meet that expectation. But anyway, before I give up the whole jig here. Let's get into a little bit about what's going on here. As you kind of see maybe the trailer, kind of think about this movie, kind of think, was it Ready or Not? I was kind of thinking of that as that one come on, and that was a really good one. And I was kind of thinking of it in the same way. So I thought, if we kind of get something similar, maybe this is going to turn out to be pretty good. But you almost get a similar situation here. A young girl who is kind of trying to find her way, stumbles upon a website or so forth telling her that they can kind of maybe investigate her ancestry or so forth, and she kind of goes for it, and then gets contacted by a man who comes and tells her that she has family off in this great mansion castle thing somewhere else, and proceeds to invite her to go to a wedding that's coming up. And she goes, and she's like, oh, okay. She goes, and her friend is kind of warns her before she goes. And I think we've seen this also in a couple of other movies where a friend has told another one, hey, be careful where you're going, and kind of mentions the horror-like things that could happen, and goes and thinks everything's all good, and then horror-like things do happen, but by then it is too late. And so you kind of get that kind of situation going on here again. She proceeds to go, and she thinks everything is fine. Yeah, there's some strange stuff going on. The audience might see some of that strange stuff more than she does. But then she kind of gets mixed up in everything that is kind of happening behind the scenes here. So that kind of thing I don't want to spoil. I don't want to spoil what is kind of happening in the background here and so forth. But it is definitely bad things. I was just looking as I kind of started this, and it is an hour and 45 minutes, and it kind of felt like that. I kind of almost felt like they could have trimmed it down a touch and maybe got rid of a little bit of that goings on at the beginning, or as she kind of gets there and so forth, and kind of getting her there, maybe they could have trimmed some of that out. But I guess they want to drag on the mystery and kind of have you thinking about what is truly happening and so forth. The opening is a good scene. The very opening where you kind of see what happened a little bit prior to her getting there, and maybe give you a hint at what may happen here, and a history of this house and so forth, and the people in it. So that gives you a little excitement, and then after that, it's just sprinkled in here or there. They may try a jump scare here or there. Not heavy on that either. It is just more about the mystery, and then more of what happens later on. And she is obviously going to find a guy here that she likes, and I think it is a little humorous that she checks to verify, because she's supposedly related to a lot of these people in some way, some form. That she is not related to him, and she is not. Good for her, because you don't want to marry your brother, cousin, sister, or great somebody or whatever, and so she kind of verifies that and proceeds to kind of have a sort of romance with him, or at least get the ball going, and that kind of starts, part of the issues here. Again, I don't want to go too much further into it and spoil things and spoil where this goes. Maybe you know already, maybe you don't from either the trailer or reading other stuff, or if you've seen it. I thought, once it kind of went there, it was all right. There was some fun stuff. There was a couple of good fights. I liked the very end scene, and kind of what they portrayed was going to happen then and next. Hopefully they don't get any ideas for any further movies, because I think it was fine as it is. Obviously they could have. Could if they want, but I think the way they ended it was fun. Just leave it at that. But yeah, the action kind of picks up, and there was some good excitement there at the end. Again, I think my expectations were kind of went maybe a little bit too high, and I'm not gonna say that I liked it maybe as much as I expected to. Not to say that it was a bad movie. It's definitely enjoyable. Like I said, there was some good action and fun stuff happening towards the end. There's two other women who come on the scene that are kind of creepy. I think there's some maids that are involved, or servants, or whatever you want to call it, who unfortunately become fair game early on, and that's kind of how you're introduced to kind of a little bit of a hint of what is happening behind the scenes. And you don't get to see a whole lot, but okay, that kind of at least kind of sparked your interest going, as this movie moved forward. But like I said, maybe they should push it a little bit faster, cut a little bit out. But it is what it is. I don't know. I don't know what. I guess I got a little too hyped for it, or just, I don't know. But I guess at the end it just wasn't. I don't know. I guess maybe I was thinking it was going to be more Ready or Not, and it has the similarities, and then it doesn't. So, and then maybe it was too similar at the end of the day. Maybe we need something different now that we've seen this kind of formula happen a couple of times. I don't know. I didn't. I thought that it was going to be really good, and just thought it was good. I guess that's the simplest way to say it. I don't. Let's see what her name is here, if I can pronounce it. What is her name? Eva. No, that's the girl. Nathalie. She did a pretty good job. She was alright. I mean, the acting was good. The guy who used to be in what was it, Gotham? He played Alfred. He's in it. I like him. He was kind of a creepy character. I think he fit that role pretty well. So the end, the acting wasn't an issue. It was well shot, well done, and everything like that. I don't know. I guess, I don't know. I don't know what I wanted more from, but whatever. I guess more of whatever was going to happen at the end. I guess I wanted more of that throughout. Damn, these movies always hiding stuff to the end. I guess maybe that's why I like slasher movies, where they just kind of get to the point where you just get people just dying here and there, and you know who it is, and there's just no mystery. Just kill them, and that's it. So many movies these days, I always hiding everything, want to hide everything, want to make it a mystery of who the killer is and what's killing and this and that, and what that real theme of the movie is, and all this nonsense. I don't know, whatever. Off point. But I definitely think it's worth a watch. And again, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. Here on IMDb, about 8,500, I guess, reviews or whatever, and it's got a 5.2 out of 10. So yeah, I take the IMDb ratings as you will, not always on point, but yeah, I would say okay. It was okay. So with that, I'm gonna give it 3 pools of blood, mostly for the back half, mostly for some of those fights and action that was happening. Like I said, there are two girls that are kind of creepy, maybe one more than the other. Thought they were an interesting pairing. Kind of liked the mind games that they kind of played. And I think at a certain point it won't be a total mystery of what's going on here. I think there was a semi-good dining scene. I'll put it that way. Again, what's his name? The guy who played Alfred kind of pulls off there. He does a pretty creepy job in this movie. So yeah, I guess that's what's to say about The Invitation. So yeah, 3 pools of blood. And that is out of 5. And with that, horrorsquaredreviews.blogspot.com is where you can find more of my reviews. Of course, that's down below if you're looking for the link. All the reviews are there, video reviews, written reviews. But if you're just looking for the video reviews, you can subscribe to the channel, or just luckily land on the reviews whenever you find them. Like, dislike, whatever you guys want to do. Twitter, Facebook information is down below as well, so you can reach out for me there. Talk about this movie, other horror, always willing to do so. Something you think I should see, something you want me to review, please feel free to do so there or in the comment section. And I will leave you with an invitation to catch the next review, horror fans.